has been a main player in the music industry for 16 years now, and her discography includes 8 studio albums. She's also an actress, fashion designer, and she has her own cosmetic beauty line, Fenty Beauty, which promotes inclusion and body positivity. I want to cover a very strange but pivotal moment in Rihanna's career, one that no one really talks about. I also want to talk about how she overcame this. I want to call this moment the "Bitch Better Have My Money" era. This consists of 3 singles that were released prior to the release of her 8th studio album, ANTI. These singles did not make the final cut for ANTI, and they were promoted heavily at the time. At no point the intent of this video was made to expose or shade Rihanna and her team. I just find this era very interesting. So yeah, let's get into it. Back in 2014, a new Rihanna album was all anyone can anticipate, as her latest body of work, Unapologetic, was released in 2012, and by that time the general public was used to Rihanna's swift releases. Her previous efforts were a year apart or less than, since her debut, Music of the Sun, that was released in 2005, so it was safe to say that an album was well overdue. On January 24, 2015, the single 45 Seconds was released. The track featured Kanye West and Paul McCartney, and even though this was not the pop anthem everyone was expecting, the track was praised by critics, and it peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts and charted for 40 weeks.
4-5 seconds from wildin', and we got 3 more mystery.
Hold me back, I'm about to spaz.
Yeah, about 4-5 seconds.
Better Have My Money was the second single, a trap song inspired by real events where in her early career she almost went broke due to her former accountant's bad advice. The track received mixed reviews from critics. For me, at the time of its release, I found the song overwhelming and hard to digest, to be honest. The song peaked at number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 and charted for 23 weeks.
Should know me well enough. Bitch better have my money. Pay me what you want it. Ballin' bigger.
The third and final single, American Oxygen, was released on April 5th, 2015, and it debuted at number 91 and peaked at number 78 and charted for 4 weeks. Now, these songs' charting powers were not flops. They performed fairly well considering they weren't manufactured to be mega hits, and they did not sounded like they were hits, to be honest. But compared to the first 3 singles from Unapologetic, her latest album Then, these singles did underperform. Both Diamonds and Stay peaked at number 1, and Pour It Up peaked at number 19. During this time, rumors also swirled that her album was nowhere near complete and the original blueprint for the album was being scrapped completely. Until then, we've never seen Rihanna's charting power wane so low, and it felt like they wanted a hit very bad. Her previous rollouts all had a clear direction and cohesiveness, but none of these singles connected, nor did they tell a story of where the album was going. Some critics would like to dismiss this as a droplet era, but that's not the case here, as all the cover art correlates with ANTI, the Braille aesthetic, that is shown on 45 Seconds, Bitch Better Have My Money, and American Oxygen was also included on the cover art for ANTI that was eventually released in 2016. I believe Rihanna and her team, they were missing the number 1 hit that Rihanna consistently gets, but with this moment, I believe Rihanna was able to reevaluate and she was able to reinvent herself as not a number 1 single artist or a hit maker, but an artist that produces a great body of work. And ANTI symbolizes this perfectly, as we find Rihanna taking charge of her music legacy, not following musical trends, and she's just making music that she believes in.